Hello, it's Chloe. I'm going to cover a game I played just today on Advanced Wars by Web against Bogaes. Bogaes, hope I'm saying that right. And this is a live game, so I'm not really going to go into the map too much. I don't think either of us had seen it before. And yeah, I'll get started. Um, oh yeah, I'm red as Eagle, he's blue as Olaf. So pretty much for both kind of stall COs, right? Olaf's superpower does global damage and creates snow, which slows down my units for one turn. Eagle superpower is all my vehicles and copters get to move a second time in the same turn. So that's super strong. So I kind of want to be deathballing. I don't know what Eagle's plan should be against Olaf in specific, because it seems like we both want to stall. I would like to get into a big fight right before his super, so I overcharge his bar, or just get my superpower first if possible. But neither. I don't think I can really. I'll pause this. I don't really think I can deny extra charge by overcharging his bar. Once it's full, keep hitting him before he can cast the super. So I think as Eagle, I'm really trying maybe to just stall, maybe, and just get a really big force. And then when Olaf uses the super, have it be not during a fight, so that it just hits my units, I heal them up, and then I have a bunch of healthy units ready for an Eagle super. So maybe my goal is to just not fight, but I don't really know. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on the matchup. I'm still not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do, but probably just I want to keep a lot of vehicles on. I don't want to trade vehicles off the field because all my vehicles get to activate twice. That's a huge deal. So probably really want to keep those on. So vehicle trading might be maybe I want to not do that too much. And I thought also Eagle might be more okay because it's a 2 base map, and because of that, there are just more tanks compared to other units. There's not as many infantry, which I thought would be good for Eagle, but I don't exactly know. So yeah, I choose to get my first tank on the top side, and my plan is, because the airport here is going to go over to me, I can use this to reinforce and push up this way to try to take these cities over here that are a bit further away. Or just, yeah, these are kind of contested, I thought maybe. I don't think I could get his comm tower, but I do think I could shift my first tank north a bit and then swing it down to the lower left and try to fight for these cities with a copter purchase. That was my plan. I did not realize that the airport is actually one turn away from this city, so getting this airport really early and getting a copter out could potentially interrupt the city or deny it, but I wasn't privy to that. I just wasn't aware of that, so I'm kind of okay with how this goes. I think one thing to note, I send an extra infantry down to go for this property back here. I'm going to get this. It's within one turn of the airport, so I'm absolutely getting the city. I like what Bogaes did much more, where they sent their other infantry toward the center cities, and I should have been contesting these. I think it was wrong for me to send this infantry down here to go for this city. And I also think I sent this infantry from this base south to go for my comm tower here. Also, it's a 2 comm tower map. I don't know, just for both sides we'll have 2 comm towers. Anyways, I send an infantry down here. This puts it so I only have 2 infantry up here for these, I guess, for these 3 captures, and nothing for the center right now. Maybe this goes center. If I shift this infantry to the center, I only have 1 infantry up here right now. So this is really too soon. I really need more infantry up here. And that was just an oversight. I really like how Bogaes played the opening. I don't think I would change anything about what he's done so far. I think this has been pretty perfect, actually. And yeah, credit there to him. And I absolutely wish that this infantry had gone toward the center cities, and I had 1 more infantry up here to help me get these captures, because this is going to be a nightmare, the way it's shaping up. So here I go for something. I don't like this. I decided to sit my tank on the city, so he can't start capturing it. You'll see what's wrong with it in a moment. I like the idea in general, allowing the tank to first strike me. I'm fine with that because I'll have the city defense. The trade won't be great for him, and I'll delay his capture by 1 turn because he won't be able to start it. So that's kind of my plan. I thought maybe when he traps my tank with his infantry, that might give me a free shot on the infantry that's trapping me, because I have an infantry here ready to attack something. But because he has 2 infantry here and I only have 1, and because I only have these 2 infantry up here for these 3 captures, it really felt like I couldn't afford to fight with infantry in the center, and I kind of just had to fall back. So in hindsight, I wish I didn't put my tank here where it can get trapped by tank and infantry, and that I instead just interrupt when he starts capturing this with my infantry, instead of trying to prevent him from starting the capture. So here we see Bogaes gets the good first strike, gets to trap me, and just keeps the other infantry around, which is good, because if I try to fight with my infantry, it will die. And I do not want to send this other infantry toward the fighting, because I need to get these captures. So I choose to move away with my infantry. Tank goes for one last shot. And I accept this is going to go away, right? I don't keep my infantry around. I'm not going to try to fight here. I kind of just accept this is gone. And so, yeah, I will be getting my comm tower first, which is pretty cool. Or at least this one, but honestly, it didn't help at all. I wish I just went for it later, because it's not really... You know, I capture it and there's no fighting. One thing I found out, I already pointed this out, but yeah, Bogaes, once they build a copter here, it's actually within one turn of this city. So I'll have a hard time, not necessarily capturing it, because he didn't do it this turn, because he couldn't, the funding didn't line up, but it is something where if I want to prevent that strike, I'd have to buy an anti-air now. And I'll kind of talk about that for a moment. If I buy an anti-air, that costs 8,000, that leaves me with 6,000 gold, and it'd be anti-air artillery would be my best build. And I don't like that, not getting any more tanks out, even after I just lost half a tank. I would call it about losing half a tank, which lost tempo. So I really just want to get as many tanks out as I can right now. Maybe I could go for an artillery, since I already lost tempo anyways. I could try to play it slow and do some kind of push like that, but I was kind of okay. Like, if he's going to build a copter and strike this, that's how it's going to be, I guess. I have 14k, perfect for double tank. So that was just kind of my thinking in regards to that. And I like going for this strike because he could only hit me with this tank. I guess he could also use a 3 HP, but I thought this was close enough to my side of the field, and I just bought 2 tanks. I kind of thought I had the tempo to be okay with this first strike. So yeah, I'm pretty happy I get these captures with no trouble. That's nice. I'm sad about the center, sad about losing half a tank. And he goes for the first strike, and this is actually really smart. This is a very nice find by him. I have 6 infantry, I think. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've had like 6 infantry up here. And he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I've had 6 against 4 on this side. And he's like winning, actually, which is really good. These 2 infantry aren't doing anything. It's fine, I guess, to have 1 here guarding the city. But I thought I'd be pushing here with a copter sooner, and I really wasn't. This guy would have been much better off in the center. He managed to strike my infantry that's on the city. And I can't actually hit that with either of my infantry because they're not in range to step on the city, and his tank blocks mine. So I should have had 1 infantry on the forest or something to counterattack. This is just a really nice find. And he also finds a strike, on the forest, which blocks for that infantry, and hitting this infantry down to 1 HP with this tank. That was a really nice find. And again, I could strike either one of these tanks, but because my tank is overloaded, I have to pick one. So hitting here is fine for him because, yeah, I thought I'd have a nice time just counterattacking and killing this tank, but I didn't consider is I just don't have enough vehicles to be... Yeah, I'm just not overextended, just overloaded, yeah. So super nice opening from him, and I do decide to focus down this tank. I could have hit it again with a 3 HP tank. I kind of miscalculated a bit, and that's fine. And I decide to kind of fall back. I want to shift one of these infantry toward the center here, but I want to keep one around to defend the city, so just heading away. And trying to group up. And I'm trying to get my infantry. I'm not exactly sure why I'm putting them here. I guess just to wall off and try to get my tanks further forward, but I kind of want my infantry going this way, down left, instead of up and right, so not a huge fan of my infantry placement, but okay. Here, Bogaes decides to... So with the copter he'd built, he sent it down to strike this infantry on the city. I thought he'd go for this kill, but he instead elects to let this infantry live, continue capturing here, and shoot my infantry down here. Oh, I forgot to make my mouse bigger. Yeah, I'll leave it like this. It's okay. But yeah. Anyways, so I have the anti-air to deal with the copter. He got his first strike. I accepted that. This is fine. I had the infantry up here to stop him from flipping these cities right away, and I'll have tanks around. But it was maybe not quite right for him to let this infantry live like this, because I'll get to shoot at him again and continue delaying the city, and you'll kind of see how that goes. And here, because it's a live game, he's starting to kind of make mistakes, I'd say. So double artillery might not be wrong per se, but I am not a fan. Double artillery feels like too much. I know he had 12k, and this lets him get 2 vehicles, but this is really slow. So now I have a window where I can try to be extra aggressive and try to take fights, because he currently has 2.5 tanks. I guess 3 tanks, we could say. He's got 3 tanks, and I've got 3.5 out right now, and the anti-air, so I can try to make something happen before his reinforcements can be useful. That's kind of my thinking. This is kind of a window back in the game for me, because I think he's played excellently. I'm down in unit count, down in value. And in fact, after I spend my money this turn, I'm still barely ahead of him in value than I guess. But yeah, he's definitely up in value, and I'm kind of struggling, so this gives me a kind of tempo lead. There's one other thing I was thinking. Oh yeah, he's kind of spread thin. Yeah, I'll take advantage of that. So immediately I can get this shot, because his tank doesn't cover it. And my anti-air will cover my tank up here, so I'm not worried about that. And yeah, I get to continue interrupting this. I get forces up here. Now he's only got 1 healthy infantry, compared to my 1 and 2 halves, maybe. My anti-air is covering things. I get a strike on this infantry. I get to kind of go all in, and he doesn't have the reinforcements he's going to need. And now I'm fine to shift up to the top right with all my infantry, because now I'm not trying to fight in the bottom left anymore. I've decided I'm going all in up here. So yeah, I get another double tank turn. I'm not sure the copter should shoot this tank. I don't know. I think he's kind of messing up now. He also takes a shot here with this tank. And this is I said it again, I guess it's a live game, and we've both made plenty of mistakes so far. I think here he's kind of getting a little bit, I don't know what the word is, maybe flustered. It's just a lot going on. And he sits on his cities, which is good. I'm going to bring this infantry back around and try to pressure the lower left again. Just trying to make him send a vehicle to the bottom left. Well, I don't have to, but I'm sorry, this fighting up here. And I'll just let this kind of play out. I get the copter. I get a good tank shot. I managed to completely interrupt this capture. And with the sacrifice, I'm actually able to... Why did I do that? Oh, I remember now. Yeah, this is good. This is actually... I was really proud about this. So I guess going back to the start of the turn, it looked like this. This is his turn, my bad. So yeah, my turn kind of starts like this. I managed to get the copter, kill off the 7 HP tank, and kill this full HP infantry. And by doing it this way, I also start this capture so that he can't swing at something from... So he... I don't know, just one more threat, I guess. But the reason I overextend a bit all the way up to here is because even though I have 2 tanks that are exposed, and he has 2 tanks in range, he can't both clear this infantry and hit this, like, hit both tanks. Like, he can only hit 1 tank is what I'm trying to say, because I cleared this infantry on the city and made this kind of wall. It's a bit hard to explain, but this infantry can't be killed without covering the city tile, and then he can't swing at my tank from that tile. So that's kind of how that works out. I was really happy with this. This was a really good tactic, and it kind of swung the game back into my favor. Maybe he still has a lead, but it's really hard for him only having 2 healthy tanks right now. He finally has another one on the way, but the artillery was just way too slow, so I get to... I don't know, it just gives me a window to get some tactics off. Also, his airport is locked by my anti-air, and his infantry is in no man's land. So that's kind of the way that turn looks. I got a copter out, which... The point of the copter is really just, I have this infantry in range to start capturing on the city, so I'm making a threat, right? I moved it off of the city to here so that I can threaten this. I would have liked to threaten this city more, but he has the infantry on top of it, and my copter can't threaten it, right? It can threaten this city, so I go for this one, right? Just because it's closer to the copter. And I'm sending a tank over to pressure with the copter. This might be wrong. Maybe, as Eagle, I really should just be clumping all my forces into a big death ball, because the double turn is that strong that you want all your units in one clump so that the double turn is amplified, but I am splitting up because I feel a weakness here, I guess. I'm feeling out a weakness, so I'm going for it. It's kind of counter to Eagle's plan, I think, but it's kind of working out. So I think he plays this all fine. The artillery finally get into position. He's going to get both these cities. He's going to get both of them. That's just the way it is. He's got the artillery in position. He gets that. He also one-shots the tank, which is pretty cool. It's a couple good strikes. I and yeah, this guy in no man's land goes for the capture. He's not getting it. He should honestly just swing at the tank with the infantry. It's gonna die anyways. So yeah. Okay, fine. He's split his. It's hard to cover everything, so he failed to cover this infantry. I get a free hit. I continue marching here. He's gonna have to interrupt with his infantry, and I know he will. So that's guaranteed. Pick off his infantry in the top right, and I think I just retreat the rest of the turn because he's got the artillery. I really don't want to fight into here anymore. I'm happy with what I got. Now, there is one issue that I'm running into, and I would have probably kept fighting if his Winter Fury wasn't so close to being charged. Because he only has 3 tanks, and I really want to take advantage of that, but he's so close to the Winter Fury, it's really scaring me. And I don't really know what to do. It felt like I did something wrong in the game because, like, Olaf's so close to Winter Fury, like, I'm not even close to my power. I must have done something wrong, but no, I think that's just the matchup. He moves both of his artillery. I thought he should have left one artillery in range to protect this infantry, watch over it, because in the game, this guy's really a bit exposed, but I don't know, maybe it's fine. My copter gets a free hit on the infantry. Nothing wrong with that, I mean, it's okay. Oh yeah, going for this capture is a big deal. So he needs Winter Fury if he's going to interrupt this capture. And this is a big deal. So now he's kind of like really wants to get Winter Fury. I kind of blunder. It's about to kind of happen. I move this tank into range of his tank here to just first strike it. So that's really bad. That's enough. Like by first striking this tank and getting a good trade, he can also get Winter Fury, which will weaken the tanks that defend this one, make this one not even able to reach. So he can, right, bring this tank down, kill this infantry, and then first strike this, and with Winter Fury, just kind of wreak havoc, I think is the phrase. But that is not what happens, fortunately for me. And yeah, I'll kind of show. He decides to sack against the copter for it. I actually think this is a really big mistake. It does, of course, interrupt my capture in the lower left, but I think instead of sacking, just not getting the Winter Fury at all is much better because he doesn't get a big attack off with it. So I'm able to just kind of build up now. I can stall as long as I want, I think. I mean, I can stall fairly long now because I guess I could. I don't really know. It's just like he's lost his threats now. By using the superpower, his threats are gone. There's not a big fight. I can afford to just run away and retreat. And his anti-air is exposed, so he has no more anti-air, and he's just really low on tanks because he sacked, right? Because he sacked 2 tanks. He has like 1 healthy tank down here, and 1 split all the way off here. I guess he has 2 here, but this is, I think, is a really big. This is when I think the game really swings into my favor. I think I kind of was getting it back, and now here he just doesn't have active units to fight back. So I joined some units together. I just kind of healed them. I kind of want healthy infantry to be able to threaten captures. And again, my army split, which isn't ideal as Eagle. I really should be trying to get my army together. I think it would have been cool if I could have gotten artillery at some point, but I just never felt like I wanted to invest in the tempo. It's a unit I really struggle to use because not being able to... Yeah, it's just low on tempo, right? You move it and then it can start to attack, whereas a tank can just move attack the same turn. Artillery also moves slower, it front shifts slower. It's just not like my playstyle, and I haven't quite figured out like when to buy artillery in games. Yeah, my plan now is mostly I'm just going to stall. I'll try to keep as many of my vehicles alive as I can, and I'll give him the bottom left because all of the stuff is here, and I'll just focus on the top right. And I think seeing as he has 1 unit here, and I have like a small force coming together, that's definitely my plan. I get a nice live game tactic here, copter blocks, I capture a city. And I think I'll just kind of skip through my turn kind of quickly. It's not super important. I'm kind of just retreating positioning. He tries to break my copter. I didn't even realize he could come that close to it. He almost breaks through to interrupt the capture. I don't even know what the rolls were. I don't think he's supposed to break that, but maybe if he got lucky, he could have. And yeah, so maybe I'll look at this turn a little closer. He kind of shifts close to the center again. He doesn't need his stuff in the bottom right. He has the cities here he wants. He really should be going up to the top right, where this city is contestable, I think. This one could be contestable, and these 2 for sure. So the stuff he wants to fight over is up here. He already has his stuff here. If he tries to push any further, he's literally one turn within my airport reinforcement, and it's really hard. Maybe he could get this city. But yeah, he's defended here. He really wants the stuff to be in the top right. I think this is a big problem going back, where I managed to pull so many of his forces to the bottom left, but he already has what he wants, right? Like, he's fighting to hold on to what he has, and I don't know, it's like his infantry are getting pulled away. He wants his infantry all up here to start threatening captures, but they get pulled down to the fighting in the lower left. I don't exactly know if he did something wrong for this to happen, but I'll try to be more aware of this in games where, yeah, he just can't start capturing, right? If we go back to the present positions like this, he has no threats up here, right? I mean, of course I have some units up here, but it's just going to take him so long to start any of these contested captures. So he does threaten this one, which is pretty cool. It's a good move, I think. I mean, it's undefended and in range of my units, but I still like the concept of threatening to start a capture. It makes me have to respond. I also like his positioning. It just doesn't work. I don't know, eagle things. I'll play that, but I just get my super here, and it just kind of ends the game. I think he played really well. I just really feel like him getting artillery made the game really hard for him, especially in live, because of just the tempo loss, I guess. I was able to constantly kind of take fights, and even though I was a bit behind on the vehicle count, my vehicles were just faster, and he just never really had the critical mass that I think he needed to win. At least I don't know, it was just really hard for him to cover everything. But yeah, the lightning strike is really fun. This is my first time using one in a live game, and maybe ever as Eagle. I'm not sure I've ever actually used lightning strike. I'm glad I didn't just like press the super right away. I think everyone who's played Eagle has done that, where you just press the super before you move any of your units, and then you realize that you just wasted it. I've done that, at least on the DS version. But yeah, one thing also is this super, I was really surprised. It doesn't even charge Bogaes' super, right? Olaf doesn't get his super right after the Eagle super. I kind of figured it was just a guarantee that he'd get it. So that was interesting, but that's pretty much it. Try to move the infantry at the end of your super, because they get the bonus 10-10 stats just from using it. Classic Eagle thing. Oh yeah, right, I bought the copter and used the super with it. But yeah, he doesn't quite get enough charge. I kept myself out of this tank's reinforcement range, partly on purpose, kind of just lucky too. And it's definitely GG here. And he throws in the towel about now. I kind of wish I had more to say, other than I really don't like the artillery and the sacking. But I think just his tank count in general is just way too low. Once he gets the artillery here, I think they're great. I mean, he really locks down the center entirely. I keep saying I think, sorry, but really him moving down to the lower left with his artillery is just too much. Because then he has no threats over here, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of saying he has no threats over here, but at the same time, I'm starting to threaten his airport and city up here. Like, I can't both say there's nothing for him to take when I'm actually threatening things up here at the same time. Like, the stuff for me to take would also be on the lower left, so I guess I'm not exactly sure what I think. It's just like, yeah, I don't really know. I have most of my stuff in the lower left. Like, I want to be fighting here. I want to be fighting over these two cities. But his whole force is here, so it's easier for me to just fight where he like has nothing, I guess. So yeah, I guess I am doing that. You can see I'm doing this, but what actually ends up happening is my threats on the north are way stronger than what he has defending, which, oh yeah, he also allowed a first strike. That's kind of a big deal. I just kind of skipped over that. He tries to run away, but he is still in range of this one, so he does get first struck at one point there. So yeah, I mean, definitely just live mistakes helped me a lot with catching up. And I think his opener was really clean. I think his infantry went where they should go. He went on the contested properties and was able to get a copter to just first strike my infantry as I tried to capture the city. It was really clean. Very good tactics as well, trapping my tank on the city, blocking with an infantry. I think he played really well with opener, and I think he kind of just maybe, yeah, just didn't have the vehicle count to keep up. So that concludes the analysis. Thanks for watching.